Okay, mate. So let's look at BTC here. A little bit late on this. Yesterday was a bit hectic, just trying to catch up on everything. BTC to me yesterday wasn't going to move too far, so I felt that the altcoins were a little bit more. I felt it was better to focus on those, and then when I get time, I could do the BTC video. I did, however, just post some thoughts in the MartyBoots alt channel. Sorry, the MartyBoots BTC channel. You know, the fact that we are forming a potential J-hook pattern, you know, to me, this looks very, very possible, which gives a target of 111,000. You know, I did post about it a few times last year, but you know, one of the times was here, and I was comparing the pattern, and we were building back. This is back in 2015 to the pattern that we are building right now. And if I move this out here, you can see the 2015 pattern right here, the way we moved up. You know, we've obviously moved up very well from here. It's been stronger, you know, it's not been stronger than I thought. I mean, because of the gold pattern, I did think that this was going to happen, but compared on the move up, there wasn't. You know, you see the move up here, consolidation, move up here, consolidation, move up here, large dip, and then move up. It was stronger this time because of the ETF, of course. And I posted yesterday in the BTC channel there, you know, but I posted back in November about it as well, just as a reminder that, you know, it's from that old post. If we get good news from the ETF, we can expect a pattern like this because it's going to be strong. So getting in early was important. So, you know, for a long time, because of the chart structure, I've been very bullish on BTC. So, and you just have to look through my post to kind of remember how bullish I was the entire way. So it's good to look through them, and here's the accumulation and the move up. So it's nice to see it after all the bullishness. You know, even when a lot of people were bearish on it, I was bullish on it because of the chart structure. And you know, even down here, and I think I was he's beginning to believe, and we were still down here at 20k at the time, even though we'd already you know, had big drops. I tried to do my best to explain to people what I could see in the chart structures, that to me that this was only building and only kind of starting. This one, actually, look at this moved up and then failed on the highs, and we got a big flush right back down. But I think for a long time, most people probably thought I was a little bit crazy about how bullish I was, and there was my bottom call and all on it anyway. So I'm just saying, it's nice to see it come out, and it's nice to see it finally, you know, that I wasn't going crazy, and that we did actually get a great move out of it. You know, it's just nice to see it come to fruition, because, you know, it's a year or 2 years of work, you know, watching the bear market, watching it drop, accumulating, having the kahunas to accumulate down in here when we were basing down on here, and then seeing it come back up. You know, it's you know, the buying and holding part is can be tough, but you know, it's the easier part, waiting and having patience through the bear market, and then being able to accumulate in the bottom of the market. You know, it's a couple of years of hard work, waiting and patience and buying and holding, and the, you know, the anxiety or the stress of, are you wrong? Are we right? And now it's coming into fruition and looking very well. So it's good to see that our plan, and I talked about the plan, you know, throughout the entire bear market, and this is what I'm doing, and this is what I think is going to happen. So it's nice to see it play out. I hope people managed to follow me on it, and didn't think it was too crazy, and I hope everybody done well from it. So anyway, you know, that's just the introduction. We are here now. You know, alt season, the main alt season doesn't usually start until BTC gets to new highs now, and even gets to new highs or gets into the double top area. I mean, that has been the trait that the market has done throughout the years. And what is happening right here when we get back into double top? It's actually the largest, basically the not exactly, but it's mostly the highest monthly close in its history, bar about $100 or whatever that is. You know, it's very, very minimal. So it is no surprise here now that the market is pumping, that meme coins are pumping up here, right? So that frothiness is coming back into the market. We need to be careful that you know, that we don't flip red here. There could be it could give that 20% dip, because a 20% KuCoin meme coins are pumping, and often, you know, when they pump, it's a sign there's a market top. And I know that's not BTC analysis, but I think it's something to take into consideration. It's unusual for Bitcoin to dip from here, right? Like when we get a strong move on Bitcoin like this, I mean, if you look at all the rest of them, this one had a bearish stop hunt, and then we went. It didn't just take liquidity in the wick, right? So BTC still looks pretty good. Like you can see back here, we had this huge pump. It did give the dip. See this wick down to fill the candle? Like even here, that was a 10% dip, 11% dip. I would suggest that something like that is probably possible. I don't see this 20% dip. Could we dip down 10% and create some sort of wick? That is possible, before then pumping and going to new highs, or pumping and moving back up into test this area right here at the double top. I'm just saying that we need to watch here and be very careful. We are taking liquidity in the wick, and that could give some sort of retrace. I don't expect 20% retrace, but a 10% retrace is possible. I'm just saying, if it flips red here, we need to be careful, because it could give that 10% dip. Currently, when it's green, things are still okay, and we could see some strength come back into it here and pump. So I'm just saying, if we flip red here, we just got to be careful. But there's no question this is a strong move, and we are also very strong on the quarter, as we can see. And usually when you're strong on the quarter, you will usually finish fairly strong. Like big move up, you finish close to the highs. Big move up, close to the highs. Big move up, close to the highs. Big move up, close to the highs. Yes, when we topped out here, there was decent wickage, right? There was decent wick there, but we still finished fairly good. There was chance to get back out on a move up into the wick. So that's something that we it did happen on a 3-month, actually, that I was just talking about on the monthly. You know, if we go back to the monthly, I'm just saying that the monthly could give some sort of move down here. I don't expect a market failure here. That's not what I'm expecting at all. But, you know, a possible 10% dip is possible. Not guaranteed yet, but we just got to keep an eye on this to see if it flips red or not. Now, throughout the market, throughout the bottoming process of this market and all the rest, I mean, I've posted in the Blueprint for Success pattern channels and maybe in the BTC chat many times and all, you know, about the power of this white 100 moving average that was below price. You know, that is building structure that should continue to push the market higher. It's a strong pattern. So this move to me is not surprising. I mean, you know, it's why I've been talking about it, because the analysis of many, you know, the fact, well, we broke up above the moving averages there. You know, we talked about we are now in a 2-week pattern, as I called it. Like you can see here, look at the structure here on the white 100 formed. It was bullish structure, and eventually we went a lot higher. Again here, the red 200 formed here. Well, what normally happens is it becomes a strong pattern. It's a red 200 moving average forming after a 75% drop into structure. With capitulation, it was very good structure. We only have to go back to the weekly chart to understand. Look where the red 200 moving average formed after an 84% drop. It formed down here. So calling a bottom down there it's still scary in the moment, of course, down on here, but it was a natural process for this to bottom out down into this. A low laying red 200 moving average formed on a 2-week chart after almost 80% drop, which helped me accumulate altcoins in the bottom of that market. And I repeat these things for people to learn, for people to understand, for people to you know, get it into their head, to look at it, to find these opportunities for themselves, you know, in the future. We want everybody here to make life-changing gains, if possible, and be able to continue making money for the rest of your lives by understanding these structures and understanding these patterns. Just because some people missed out on it here, it doesn't mean that you're not going to see another one. There's going to be new coins that are going to be launched on on Binance, and on a daily chart this pattern is going to form, and you can load up on this and make 10x coming into this bull market. you know, just because this was on a 2-week chart and because you missed this pattern is going to form on altcoins as well, and we need to be prepared to find them again. Like Binance is listing a new coin every week at this point, or every 2 coins every week. These new coins are all going to pump 10x and more. So we need to be aware of these bullish structures and find them in the altcoins. Bring our analysis from Bitcoin here and move that into the altcoins, and then look for these structures in the altcoins and trade those to the upside. So I don't want to get too sidetracked. The video is already 10 minutes long. You know, this is obviously very strong. We are filling this wick. This candle, in my opinion, should finish fairly close to the highs. Right? We can get some dips, but we should finish in the top, at least in the top third of here. Right? I don't see this having huge downside before a new quarter. It's just not really the norm thing to do in the strength. It would often be a new quarter that large funds, even like BlackRock, might decide to skim some off and maybe rebuy on the dip or something. However, I don't see BlackRock selling any, to be honest. So I just want to share this here again. I mean, we are forming a classic J-hook pattern, right, in my opinion, which entails and which implies that we should go a lot higher here. Now, yesterday, Merrill Lynch and a few big banks just opened up for people to buy Bitcoin. So, like George was mentioning, white collar, I mean, doctors and everybody else going to come in to buy it. They were there last bull market. Like I know quite a few doctors, and they used to come to me and ask me about it. But he is right in what he's saying. This time there will be more people, more doctors, more white collars that will actually get involved because all these banks now have access. And some of the biggest banks in the world, JP Morgan, Merrill Lynch and all, just started to open up very, very recently, which that will take time for money to flow in, which will help continue and fuel this pump higher. BlackRock are a marketing machine. They hoover up all of the money around. They will market Bitcoin until there's no more money to suck in, and they will continue pumping it. They're one of the biggest marketing machines in the world. And I don't mean that they're out shilling all the time, but you know, if BlackRock touches something, you know, it automatically becomes hot, especially for the smaller investor. The other huge thing, Vanguard, the Vanguard CEO stepping down as well, $7.2 trillion in assets. You know, it's only a matter of time before they start launching, and everybody else starts launching. And also there's an ETF coming out in Asia, in Hong Kong. Is it Hong Kong or China? Yeah, Asia anyway. I forget the exact location. But that is coming now in the next couple of months as well, which is going to continue to fuel from the east, from Asian people, China, Hong Kong, Singapore, and maybe whatever, maybe Saudi Arabia, and who knows? I'm not too sure. But it's going to give a lot of fuel as well. So the market, it still looks to be warming up here. Granted that we have had a huge move. How big can this candle get? You know, at the moment, for me, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but Bitcoin might be done here. Not too sure, but it might be done here. But you know, I do expect a new quarter to probably do this again. Is Bitcoin done here? But I would expect Bitcoin to do this again, probably. You know, I think it's very, very possible. Like, it's hard to buy Bitcoin here, but if it consolidates correctly, it makes it a lot easier to buy it. Like, we could have another push here, and the reason being is we have large volume here, right? We have large volume. What likes to happen above large volume? Well, we could get a short-term top above here, right? Somewhere above. If we get another push up above this large volume, I think we got to take that seriously and then see how Bitcoin develops. So if there is a bearish monthly stop hunt here, we definitely got to be on guard for that to maybe drop the price more and maybe flip into the red a bit and create some sort of wick. This is a large candle, and not always, but these large candles like to get filled. At some point in the future, this candle will get filled. Will it be the next bear market, or will it be in the relatively near future? I'm not sure. For example, here This one filled. We were just breaking out. This one did fill here in the moment, at least a portion of it. This one didn't fill, but you know, later, many months, 10 months later, 15 months later, whatever it was, this candle did fill, this large candle. At some point, this candle will fill, and people will be able to buy Bitcoin back down there. But you know, the question is, when will that fill? This is a strong 2-week candle. You know, I don't think we should be buying at the top of a strong candle. I think we need to watch, and I think a new 2-week is when we need to watch to see if we're going to get that dip. For example, if you look here, this is something I would expect, right? This to drop down, fill the large candle on a new 2-week. I don't expect it now, between now and Sunday. I would expect next week to possibly be some dip on a Monday and Tuesday, possibly. At least we need to be prepared for it on a new week. Right now, I don't like. Right now, I'm seeing Bitcoin doing something like this. This is what I'm expecting. Right now, I would suggest that this is quite possibly what is exactly going to happen in my mind, because some sort of consolidation up here at double top before moving on would be very normal. So this, to me, is the ideal and likely situation that we can do. You know, in bull markets, look how strong this is, but look how little consolidation we had before the next power move higher. It's quite normal and quite possible that we do something else, something very similar like that here. So what is it saying? Well, dips into a 50% retrace of this candle look very good, just like they were back here. Dips 50% into the way of this candle look very good, and that took a month. It took another month, right? There's 2-week candles, so in the next month, dips down into 50% of this large candle look like buying opportunities. And until then, we will continue to watch it and see how it develops.